Hello, I'm Lorna and welcome to the Natural Dog Training Academy.
Hello, and I'm Sonia. Welcome to our channel. So today we've decided to have a dog chat about New Year, fireworks, and the weather. So, going to start off with the fireworks. They do seem to get louder each year, don't they, Lorna? And a lot of dogs are petrified of the sounds. Their ears are really sensitive. So if you do have a dog that is scared or petrified of fireworks, then the best place for them is a safe place. Now, we've been to many clients over the years where the fireworks starts and their dogs running around the whole house, aren't they, Lorna, trying to find a place to hide. Some go in wardrobe, some go in the bath.
Mm.
Uh, so that's because it's an enclosed space. So if those that have a crate already, it's great to have a blanket over the crate, the top, the sides, and the backs. There's just the front open, and that's like a little den for your dog. Now, the worst thing you can do, isn't it, Lorna, if your dog is showing signs of distress, is, oh, it's okay. There's a good boy, there's a good girl, because that can just make it worse.
Yeah.
So, to have that safe space. Now, we used to have like tables with long cloths over.
Hmm.
Some dogs used to go under there, didn't they?
Yeah.
Um, so, even making something like that, but about a week or two before, what you want to probably do is to feed your dog in that space.
Yes. Yeah.
So give them treats in that space so they see that space as their food resource is being provided there and it's like a little den for them. So that's the best thing. I once went to a client where the dog just run around the whole bungalow, and this was a massive bungalow, just trying to hide and
Mm.
find a space to hide. I actually took a small crate with me and just covered it over, started feeding him in there, and that's where he went when the fireworks started.
Mhm.
So he just knew that that was his safe place.
Or
So
another thing you can do, Sonia, sorry to interrupt, but if you don't have a table, not everybody has a table nowadays, is even sort of get two of your settee chairs kind of angled where you can throw a blanket over that.
yeah,
Anything that makes a little den, that's quite an easy
yeah,
thing to do. And the dog is then still in the same room with you, but it can bury in underneath that and feel absolutely secure. So anything
yeah.
like that.
Yeah, yeah. And like I say, give a Kong in there, feed in there, so they start to see that that food resource is coming from in there, and then they'll be quite happy to go. You can direct them in there when the fireworks start. Also, I mean, I had an incident the other week where a dog went out in the garden and there was a big bang, big firework. This was near bonfire night, and the dog shot back inside and then wouldn't go back out in the garden again
Hmm.
for a few days. He was trembling, wouldn't go back in, so she had to take him out on the lead, and he's still trembling and just wanted to get back in the house. So what I advised is to feed him outside in the
Hmm.
garden, weather permitting, when it's dry, because that way his food resource was coming from outside and he'd more want to go outside and get his food. And even if he ate and come back in, at least he's having a food source from
Yeah.
outside. That's a good idea, isn't it, Lorna?
Yeah. And if you want to slow him down a bit, then just scatter his food outside because
Yeah.
he's not going to give up on his food. So that takes him, maybe moves him just a little bit further around, and he feels more secure and it'll slow him down eating as well. But that's, the point is you're quite right. Yeah, get him to feel that the garden is a safe place and where food is, dogs tend to feel secure. So
Yeah,
yeah, very good tip
definitely.
that.
And if you do have a dog that's scared of firework, don't walk them. Don't walk them
Mm.
at night. Try and walk them in the daytime, and at night they can be at home and feel safe. Yeah, so definitely don't walk them.
Tell you, I wouldn't be out walking myself when the fireworks are going off. I mean, it's incredible sometimes. They look
Yeah,
beautiful, but we don't really need the sound, I don't think. Yeah.
no, no,
But I think
definitely not.
that's good advice. That's good advice, Sonia. But I was also thinking about really just the weather. The weather after New Year, January. I mean, I know we've not had a particularly good December, but January and February really are our cold, cold months. If we're going to get bad weather in the main, that's where when we get it. So you've probably done a lot of this already because we have had some quite cold spells and very wet spells in December and November. I can't remember November much, but just think about your dog when it's outside. Now, you're probably, if you've got a dog that's got a close coat, not a furry coat, then those dogs really feel the cold far more. They've only got maybe one layer of fat.
Like
And
Stuffies and Jack Russell.
yeah, boxers, that kind of dog. But it can be other dogs as well, and especially and older dogs, even older dogs that have furry coats, they, like people, they feel the cold far more. So, it's very good to have a coat or a knitted jumper for your dog. And there's loads of them out there, and you see dogs wearing them. But it does help retain their body, their body heat. But another thing just to remember when you're out with your dog, if it's been icy and cold and the gritter's been around or the salt's been thrown out in the pavement, then if your dog's out walking in their bare paws, make sure when you bring them back in that you wash that off and you dry it off. I mean, I know we're all very good at drying our dogs' feet normally when they've been out in rain and mud and what have you, but don't forget, grit and ice is quite harmful to their pads. So as soon as you get them back inside and make sure you get it out from in between their paws, because if the grit stays in there, then that can cause problems. So a good wash and wipe down as soon as they come back in. Just make it the norm that they get their feet dried.
Yeah, definitely. And, if your dog's not used to wearing a coat, then again, putting a coat on and then giving them a Kong with a high prize in, that they get used to that. They're more interested in the Kong rather than the coat on them. I mean, I know my Springer, I tried to put a jumper on and she was just trying to rip it off. She did not like having anything on her body whatsoever. So yeah, that's
that was just another thought that came to me. Make sure you can be seen in the dark when you're out in the dark nights, because if you're driving along the road and people are in dark clothes, you can hardly see them. Well, if you've got a dark dog, a black dog or a dark coloured dog, or in fact any colour of dog, you can hardly see them as well. So there's lots of things now you can get. Put these these rings round in it. I think you've got one for Harry.
I've got one for Harry, yeah, like
light up and so that you can see the dogs there. I mean, we would feel a bit silly, I suppose, walking around with a ring round our neck, but put it on your dog. Is that what you've got, Sonia, for Harry?
Yeah, I've got one for Harry, and a fluorescent jacket or something just to go over as well. You can get them for dogs, so that's even better, especially if you've got a black dog. But any dog really is good with one of these. So yeah, definitely, so people can see you. I mean, I was walking the other night and I got startled because a few people stood there with the dog, and I was like, didn't see them whatsoever, pitch black, no lights, they didn't have a torch, anything. And I was like, wow, just something is better than nothing, definitely, so that you can be seen. Well, we really hope that this has helped, and we hope that you do have a brilliant new year. And we'll be back in the new year, won't we, Lorna, with many more interesting dog chats. But for now, thank you very much for listening.
Yep, thank you, and have a good new year when it comes.
Bye for now.
Bye.